summer heat of 1947, beneath the expansive New Mexico sky, a remarkable event was taking shape on the Foster Ranch. This quiet, unassuming stretch of land, located 75 miles north of the town of Roswell, was on the brink of attracting worldwide attention. Rancher William Mac Brazel, going about his routine duties, discovered something decidedly out of the ordinary. Across a significant area of his ranch lay an array of peculiar debris. Amidst the dust and the desert brush were fragments of material unlike anything Brazel had ever seen. Rubber strips, resilient paper, tinfoil-like pieces, and slender metallic rods were strewn across the landscape. Their origins were mysterious, their purpose unknown. Recognizing the unusual nature of his find, Brazel brought the debris to the local sheriff. However, the find was so unusual, so beyond the scope of local understanding, that the story soon traveled beyond the confines of the sheriff's office. It reached the attention of the military officials at Roswell Army Airfield, who immediately recognized the potential significance of the find. A team was promptly dispatched to the ranch, tasked with the recovery of the unidentified materials. Under the harsh New Mexico sun, the military personnel worked diligently to collect the remnants of the unknown object. They removed the debris from the ranch and transported it back to their base, leaving behind an air of intrigue that clung to the landscape of the Foster Ranch. The world soon learned of this extraordinary event. On July 8, 1947, a press release from the Roswell Army Airfield announced that they had recovered a flying disc. This term, loaded with implications of extraterrestrial technologies, sparked an immediate sensation. A media frenzy ensued, with newspapers nationwide reporting on the captured flying saucer in Roswell, New Mexico. Yet even as this announcement continued to reverberate, a shift was occurring behind the closed doors of the military. Plans were being drawn up to retract the initial claim. The narrative of the flying disc was soon to be dismissed, replaced with a more mundane explanation. This rapid about-face introduced a new layer of complexity to the Roswell incident, raising a multitude of questions and fostering a sense of mistrust. This sudden retraction, the speculations it inspired, and the potential cover-up it suggested, propelled the Roswell incident from a localized event to a long-standing global enigma. The incident's enduring mystery has, over the years, solidified its status as one of the most compelling and debated events in UFO history. In the immediate aftermath of the startling flying disc announcement, a surprise development was rapidly unfolding. The military narrative, which had ignited a wildfire of public fascination, was on the precipice of a drastic transformation. The corridors of power at the Roswell Army Airfield were buzzing with activity as they prepared to rescind their earlier explosive statement. On July 9, 1947, only a day following the captivating declaration, Brigadier General Roger M. RAMEY convened a press conference. This gathering wasn't held in the remote environs of Roswell, New Mexico, but at the more prominent location of Fort Worth Army Airfield in Texas. The press conference had one principal aim: to clarify the earlier statement made by the Roswell base, a clarification that, in its stark contrast to the original announcement, took the gathered press, and subsequently the public, by surprise. The fragments of a flying disc that had provoked widespread wonder were now revealed to be nothing more than remnants of a weather balloon. The physical evidence was presented for scrutiny: the rubber, the foil, the thin metallic rods. These were parts of a weather tracking device, RAMEY explained, not the residue of a spacecraft from another world. The original story of an extraterrestrial object had been supplanted by an explanation that was decidedly more terrestrial. Reactions to this abrupt narrative shift varied. While some accepted the explanation with relief, considering the matter resolved, others met it with skepticism. The profound disparity between the descriptions of a flying disc and a weather balloon seemed too significant to be ignored. Doubts began to surface. Could trained military personnel at Roswell Base have really mistaken a common weather balloon for an extraterrestrial craft? The new narrative was met with additional questions that left many unsatisfied. Why had there been such an urgency in gathering the debris if it was just from a weather balloon? Why the shroud of secrecy around its recovery? Most perplexing of all, why was there a hasty retraction of the original statement? The absence of satisfactory responses to these queries fed suspicions of a possible cover-up, hinting that the military might be concealing the true nature of the event. This sudden reversal by the military did not extinguish the Roswell mystery. Rather, it stoked the embers of speculation, transforming the incident from a brief news sensation into a long-lasting enigma. The lingering doubts, the unanswered questions, and the possibility of a hidden truth propelled the Roswell incident into the realm of enduring mystery. Its controversial narrative would continue to ignite debates, inspire in-depth investigations, and captivate public imagination for generations to come. In the aftermath of the press conference at Fort Worth Army Airfield, a silence descended on the story of the Roswell incident. The military's revised narrative of a weather balloon seemed to have put a lid on the simmering speculation, at least on the surface. But beneath this calm facade, the unresolved mysteries continued to fester. For many, the military's explanations fell short, leaving a vacuum of unanswered questions. For decades, the incident was mostly forgotten, reduced to a footnote in the annals of UFO lore. Then, in the late 1970s, the Roswell incident resurfaced with renewed vigor, drawing interest from an array of UFO researchers and enthusiasts. The release of several high-profile books and television documentaries sparked a resurgence in public interest, leading to fresh inquiries and the demand for further investigation into the incident. One figure who emerged during this period was Stanton T Friedman, a nuclear physicist and dedicated UFO researcher. Friedman played a crucial role in reviving interest in the Roswell incident, conducting exhaustive research and interviewing numerous witnesses associated with the event. Through his work, previously unknown facets of the incident came to light, including claims of a large-scale military operation to clean up the crash site and the alleged existence of alien bodies. Around the same time, a new witness stepped forward. Marcel Sr, the intelligence officer of the 509th Bomb Group at Roswell Army Airfield, who had been involved in the recovery of the debris, publicly contradicted the official explanation. He claimed the materials he handled were not of this world, reigniting the debate around the incident. Interest in the incident grew further with the release of the infamous MJ-12 documents in the 1980s. Purported to be highly classified documents from the inner workings of the US government, they suggested a shadowy narrative that had previously only been the subject of whispers and speculation. According to these documents, an elite group referred to as the Majestic 12 was established by an executive order from US President Harry S. Truman in 1952. The purpose of this group was said to be the supervision and management of matters relating to recovered extraterrestrial technology and beings. The so-called Eisenhower Briefing document, dated November 18, 1952, presented a detailed account of an extraterrestrial craft's recovery, along with alien bodies near Roswell, New Mexico, in 1947. If these papers were to be believed, they confirmed some of the most astonishing interpretations of the Roswell incident and suggested a deep and expansive government conspiracy to keep the truth concealed from the public eye. While these developments served to keep the Roswell incident in the public eye, they also sparked controversy and deepened the divide between believers and skeptics. Critics pointed out inconsistencies in witness testimonies, questioned the authenticity of the MJ-12 documents, and challenged the credibility of those promoting the extraterrestrial hypothesis. Despite the ongoing debate and criticism, these efforts succeeded in catapulting the Roswell incident back into the spotlight. It once again captured the public's imagination, transcending its status from a mere event to a cultural phenomenon. Further complicating the Roswell enigma are the various witness testimonies, each contributing a unique perspective to the incident. Over the years, numerous individuals have come forward, claiming first-hand knowledge or involvement in the events of 1947. These testimonies, filled with personal accounts of sightings, unusual materials, and strange beings, have added depth and complexity to the already intricate narrative. One of the most prominent among these is the testimony of Major Jesse Marcel, the intelligence officer of the 509th Bomb Group stationed at Roswell Army Airfield. Marcel was one of the first military officers to arrive at the crash site. His initial descriptions of the crash debris reinforced the extraterrestrial hypothesis. He spoke of memory metal that could not be cut, burned, or permanently deformed, and of I-beam-like structures covered in indecipherable symbols, unlike anything he had seen before. Years later, in the late 1970s, Marcel would revisit his account during interviews, insisting that the material he encountered was not from any weather balloon. He claimed the military's weather balloon explanation was a cover-up, sparking a resurgence of interest in the Roswell incident.
It was not anything from this earth that I'm quite sure of, because being an intelligence officer, I was familiar with just about all materials used in aircraft and in our air travel. This is nothing like that. It could not be. It could not have been.
Another notable account comes from Glenn Dennis, a local mortician in Roswell during 1947. Dennis claimed to have received calls from the Roswell Army airfield, inquiring about small, hermetically sealed caskets and preservation techniques for bodies exposed to the elements. He also alleged to have seen strange debris and to have been threatened by military police, warning him to keep quiet about what he saw.
He did not see any crash. There was not any crash. And he said, you get the hell out of here, and you didn't see anything, and you don't talk to anybody. He said, you're going to get in a hell of a lot of trouble. And I said, look, I'm a civilian, there ain't a damn thing you can do to me about it. He said, no, but somebody might be picking your bones out of the sand. That's when he made the remark there.
In their richness and diversity, these personal stories not only serve to illuminate different aspects of the Roswell incident, but also reflect our broader human fascination with the unknown. In the grand saga of the Roswell incident, there are various subplots and elements that often go unnoticed amidst the main discourse. These lesser-discussed facets may not necessarily hold the key to unlocking the Roswell mystery, but they do offer additional layers of intrigue and complexity to this multifaceted narrative. Consider the captivating account of Gerald Anderson, a narrative often consigned to the margins. In 1947, Anderson was but a boy, and his story presents an alternate viewpoint on the Roswell incident. He claimed that while on a family outing, they encountered a crashed flying disc and its extraterrestrial occupants not in Roswell, but in the plains of San Agustin, around 200 miles west. Anderson's tale has not garnered the spotlight it perhaps deserves due to discrepancies in his accounts and a glaring lack of corroborative evidence. Yet, his narrative raises questions about the possibility of multiple crash sites that are worth considering in any thorough investigation of the incident. Then, we have the tale of Frank Joyce, a radio broadcaster in 1947, who played a brief yet significant role in the Roswell incident. According to Joyce, he received an unsettling phone call from a rancher describing a crash site littered with bizarre debris and what appeared to be alien bodies. Joyce's story remained largely eclipsed for many years, primarily because he did not publicly share his account until several years after the incident. Nevertheless, his narrative contributes another layer to the intricate tapestry of testimonies surrounding the Roswell event. In the turbulent wake of the Roswell incident, several other gripping stories came to light. One such example involves the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The FBI's involvement in the Roswell case has largely been kept under wraps. Public records indicate that the Bureau was informed about the incident and had received a telephonic briefing regarding the recovery of an unusual object. However, the depth of the FBI's involvement in the investigation and any subsequent actions remain shrouded in uncertainty, inviting further scrutiny. As the years turned into decades, the mysteries of the Roswell incident refused to fade into oblivion. Researchers, investigators, and curious members of the public continued to scrutinize every aspect, every claim, and every piece of evidence associated with the case. Public demand for transparency and accountability regarding the incident reached an all-time high. The U.S. government, in response to this sustained interest, eventually published a series of comprehensive reports in the 1990s, aiming to conclusively resolve the lingering questions around Roswell. The first of these reports, aptly titled The Roswell Report: Fact versus Fiction in the New Mexico Desert, was unveiled to the public in 1994. The Air Force took the lead in drafting a thorough account, seeking to put an end to decades of speculation. This voluminous document aimed to take the incident apart piece by piece, dissecting each element and offering explanations that fell in line with the principles of terrestrial science and technology. The report firmly upheld the long-stated explanation of a weather balloon crash. Yet, it delved deeper, detailing how the wreckage was part of a classified endeavor known as Project Mogul. This project, largely unknown to the public before, was revealed to be focused on the creation of high-altitude balloons, designed to eavesdrop on potential Soviet atomic bomb tests by capturing sound waves from the high atmosphere. 3 years later, in 1997, coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the incident, the Air Force released a second report, titled The Roswell Report: Case closed. This document sought to directly confront and explain the claims concerning the recovery of alien bodies from the crash site. The Air Force posited that these accounts might have stemmed from a misinterpretation of sightings of anthropomorphic test dummies, which were used in high-altitude parachute drops during the 1950s. These drops were part of a series of experiments designed to improve pilot safety during ejections at high altitudes. The U.S. government, with these reports, aimed to dismantle the shroud of mystery that had enveloped Roswell since that fateful summer in 1947. They intended to replace tales of extraterrestrial visitors and government conspiracies with explanations grounded in terrestrial science, military projects, and misinterpretations. But, as is often the case with such mysteries, these reports, thorough as they were, didn't succeed in completely quelling the speculation. For many, they fell short of providing satisfactory answers to all their questions. Some believed that the reports even raised new questions, adding more layers to the enigmatic puzzle that is the Roswell incident. The intrigue lived on, keeping Roswell securely in the realm of the unexplained and the unknown. From its very inception, the Roswell incident has been mired in contention, skepticism, and counter-arguments. Despite the magnetic allure of the extraterrestrial hypothesis, numerous critics and skeptics have tirelessly dissected the available evidence, challenging each claim and offering alternative explanations. One of the most persistent counter-arguments centers around the very nature of the debris found at the crash site. Critics suggest that the wreckage could be attributed to top-secret military projects, an explanation officially endorsed by the U.S. government. Programs like Project Mogul provide a plausible and terrestrial explanation for the unusual wreckage. Some skeptics have also suggested that the debris might have been from common or mundane objects, misidentified due to a combination of unusual circumstances and human error. The variety of material described, ranging from rubber strips and tinfoil to sticks and tape, could conceivably be found in many earthly objects, not necessarily requiring an extraterrestrial origin. A particularly significant criticism revolves around the challenges and issues in verifying the claims associated with the Roswell incident. One of the major problems lies with the sheer passage of time. The incident took place in the summer of 1947, and the first major public inquiry did not take place until the 1980s. The gap of several decades inevitably introduced issues of memory degradation, leading critics to question the reliability of the witness testimonies. Moreover, there is a noticeable lack of physical evidence to support the extraordinary claims. While numerous individuals have spoken about handling strange materials, no definitive pieces have been publicly presented for examination. The memory metal described by Major Jesse Marcel, for example, has never been produced or analyzed, leaving skeptics questioning its existence. Many critics also point to the influence of cultural and societal factors in shaping the narrative of the Roswell incident. The late 1940s marked the beginning of the Cold War era, a time of heightened tension, paranoia, and secrecy. The UFO phenomenon, critics argue, can be seen as a reflection of these societal anxieties, rather than a manifestation of extraterrestrial visitation. Furthermore, some skeptics have raised questions about the influence of media and popular culture in perpetuating the alien crash narrative. They argue that books, TV shows, films, and other media have played a significant role in shaping public perception and memory of the event, possibly distorting the original facts. While these criticisms and counter-arguments have not conclusively debunked the Roswell incident, they serve as a reminder of the complexities and uncertainties involved in such investigations. They underscore the need for rigorous and unbiased scrutiny when dealing with claims of this nature, and highlight our collective struggle in discerning truth from the extraordinary. As the echoes of the Roswell incident reverberate through the years, it's clear that the fascination with this event extends far beyond mere curiosity about an anomalous event from the past. Indeed, Roswell has transcended its historical boundaries, becoming a cultural phenomenon that permeates diverse aspects of human society, shaping our discourse on extraterrestrial life and seeding fertile ground for innumerable UFO conspiracy theories. The Roswell incident's enduring appeal lies, in part, in its mystery. Despite the passage of more than 7 decades, the questions surrounding the event remain as tantalizing as they were in the summer of 1947. What crashed in the New Mexican desert? Who were the occupants of the craft, if they indeed existed? What did the military know, and to what extent was there a cover-up? these unanswered questions continue to stir the imaginations of countless people, fueling speculation and research. But the cultural imprint of Roswell extends beyond the borders of the New Mexican town. It has seeped into every corner of our collective consciousness, influencing literature, cinema, television, and even fashion. It has nurtured an entire subculture of ufology and has played a key role in shaping our discourse on the potential existence of extraterrestrial life. Moreover, Roswell has permeated our social and political discourse, often serving as a symbol of government secrecy and the people's right to truth. The incident's contentious history, filled with accusations of cover-ups, misinformation, and dismissed testimonies, has fueled mistrust towards government institutions and has given birth to countless conspiracy theories. It has galvanized a public demand for transparency and accountability, a demand that resonates even today. As we look back on the Roswell incident, we realize its significance transcends the event itself. It's not just about a mysterious crash in the desert, it's about our endless quest for knowledge and truth, our innate desire to understand our place in the universe, and our collective fascination with the unknown. The enduring mystery of Roswell keeps the debate on the existence of extraterrestrial life alive and stimulates our imagination. As we continue to ponder the unanswered questions surrounding Roswell, we are, in essence, pondering our own existence and exploring the endless possibilities that the cosmos holds for us.